arrived. We're only about 12 odd.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to the stream. Playing something a bit out of the way. The game is currently muted. I'm fucking D-class. But welcome to the stream.
Also, oh hello.
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 Right. Oh bloody hell! Hi.
Hey,
I'm dead.
Hello, I was stood in there trying to do my intro. OBS trying to unmute the game.
Oh god. Right. Okay.
So who's ready to get absolutely mauled alive?
I mean, it's Halloween themed today. Where do we go?
This way, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Duh. And now just to guess. Fuck knows where we
I
go
don't
from
need to
here.
remember when I'm talking to you guys. I need to remember to push to talk.
Yeah, I wish there was a voice activity for it.
No. Fuck off! No! Fuck off!
Oh, fuck
And now
that.
just to guess.
Shit me up.
And now just to guess.
No! Fuck off!
No, Claire's fucking peanut. Oh no. Dog is one of them. Just massacred two of them. And shit me up.
Come on. Come on.
Astolfo and
You go
Doru are
upstairs.
dead. Playing it rather differently, that's new. I'm guessing Claire's going to try and get the scientist out. Oh, I'm getting a bit of lag. That don't normally lag even. In that. Maybe if I close Spotify, I get some frames back. I heard a elevator. Nine. Just want to get out of here. I don't care if I'm out here for chaos. Oh, fuck!
Why was not Dixie not responding to me? I was asking over the radio where she was.
They might have turned it off.
That's garbage.
Well,
think
there
we
was
did.
dog. There was
Well, there
dogs,
was a dog.
so...
Oh, hi, Des.
Yeah, I died to the Tesla gate. I mistimed it.
Oh, look at Nexie. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Just stared at him.
Oh, and it's old man.
Oh
For
my
fuck's
god.
sake.
Yeah, I had 106 after me. Twice.
Yeah, fucking... Sparky's just,
Hey, undead.
upgrading. Hey, Lucky.
Yeah, my keycard went and got deleted. Because I had an 05 and then I went back in to upgrade some meds.
What?
Yeah, it'll...
Look at- oh my god, look at Nexie.
Yeah, so Claire's holding C to walk, which the dog can't see. So, yeah, that's why I survived, because I stayed quiet and held C to walk instead of run.
Yeah, I remembered after it was too late.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Claire just
Opened
needs
the
to
door to a
survive.
dog, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
Oh god,
It's
Sparky's...
like it's upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah, why is Sparky holding out a scientist card? Did they not upgrade it?
I don't think Sparky knows how to play.
I mean, somebody will...
I don't.
He's dead soon.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Well,
dead soon.
Yeah. Oh, next found the other facility guard.
And this is where he dies. Oh, yep, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my
Well, that was
god.
Oh,
Hey!
Hey.
Wow. Just on time, I think.
Yeah, the only thing is that we can't contact, Claire. Oh, hello!
Oh, hello.
Hold on, I can't hear you, the alarm's going off.
Oh, now you're talking over the radio. Where were you the last time?
Press
Oh my god,
V.
Chris, shut up!
Press V to use radio. Hey, Fox.
Everyone in. Everyone in. Is that everyone?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's everyone.
Okay.
Wait, Sparky's
You
still
ready,
alive?
people?
Oh,
Hello!
Hello?
so,
Hello.
Hello?
you guys coming down? I duped the dog, did you see it?
Yeah,
No,
we
we
did.
didn't.
We
Oh,
saw
no,
it.
so, yeah, we saw.
I don't know where the entrance is.
Where are you?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Gate
Put the
B.
baby on the bone when it's done.
We're at Gate B.
Piece of chewing.
Where do we go?
This way. Hang
If you
on.
can find your way to Gate B, that's where we are.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So who's
Hey.
dog? Is that Staffel?
That's not,
No,
It's
Astolfo's dog, and fucking
of course.
Ceres is old man.
Oh, I didn't know old man was around. Damn.
Oh,
Yep.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Did you like my dupe in the dog?
Yeah, we saw.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
a good clip.
It seems to be only
Oh,
me
yeah.
and
By the
you
way,
that
Who,
realised.
who got pounced? Who got pounced?
Me.
Yeah,
Me.
Yeah, here's the funniest bit, right? He pounced one of you. Oh,
Doggo!
Oh,
he pounced one of you.
Dog!
It's most likely that way, so I didn't hear Tesla.
I didn't see anyone.
Reel on.
Oh man, if I just turn
Okay,
the other
we're good.
way. If I turn the other way, that's my body in at Lasergate.
Okay, we should be good.
Yep. Don't open the door. Be careful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Stay out his
Astolfo
way.
will pounce.
Yeah. He knows when to do it. He'll probably go for somewhere like Lab.
Yeah.
Guessing.
Just
Wait,
remember,
that's Tesla behind us. He's gone around. He's gone around.
bear in mind, hold C if
There's
you
old
don't
man.
want to see him.
Old man!
Kill it. Alright, come on.
Where?
Okay, go, go, go. Guys, come with us. Other way, other way. Come on, come on, come on. Hold there, hold there.
This is where all of those guys have just died. Let's hold up this at the top here just in case any of them lived. Oh, old man's down. I was so close to the exit. If I just went the other way instead of the Tesla gate, I would have been able to get out. Oh, thanks. I don't know why Joshua's not using his mic. He normally does. Joshua, is your mic muted?
No.
Is that the lab?
They're there, to the left.
That's the lab.
Okay, let's go out here because that's a bad spot to be in.
Yep, yep.
Hello.
Hello, we've been walking
we're all together.
around, so...
Okay,
For micro.
micro, okay, we'll try. That's an elevator. That's this way.
Out of ammo, by the way. No.
Don't forget, hold C if you don't want to be spotted by dog.
I didn't touch it.
Okay, stay out the way. Back, back, back. Probably in there again.
Grenade.
Do it!
Oh,
Back, 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 grenade, back!
He's gone through the other door.
Okay, right, go ahead. Sneaky bastard.
Do not approach the door. Do not approach that door.
And he's got line of sight.
No, nothing
No.
here.
Negative.
Did the door just close behind us?
Nothing. Yeah, got it.
Greetings!
Hello, welcome.
He's gone through.
No, there's a nestic. Stay back. Everyone fall back. Everyone back. We cannot engage him like that. Dude, this way. Don't go the other way.
Be
Come on,
careful,
this
dog
way.
might be in entrance zone. You might be
Oh, he's
run into
definitely in
contact.
entrance zone. Okay, everyone through. Go.
Where to?
Let's,
Okay, I still got a good amount of ammo. How you all doing?
Not good on ammo, but I'm still alright. I'll be fine.
I've
There you
got
go.
a decent amount.
Thank
He's locked in armory. That's computer.
Get him.
Hey!
Oh, my only backup rushed in and died.
Well,
That's fine,
I
we
did.
killed
I
you.
thought I only saw 3 of them. I hadn't realised there was like 7 or 8, all of them together.
Woo! That was actually really fun. Oh, that was actually really fucking good.
Waka waka. Okay.
We can hold for now.
Yeah. I then tried. I then tried to like get back underground, but they completely fucking shredded me.
Yeah.
Also, Ace is a lucky git because he got out the Shadow Realm.
Aww.
Like I sent him to the Shadow Realm,
Boy.
and then he got out, and then he got caught again.
I thought I was alone, so I had to do something.
I thought
Fair.
food had arrived, but it hasn't yet, so I'm good.
Also,
Okay, there
I
we go.
locked myself in that little room with you. How did you not get me?
I duped the Stoffel, and that is a proud moment.
I'm getting fucking
The
sloppy,
elevators.
okay? I'm not eating all day. I'm fucking
Yeah,
tired.
you're good.
Don't worry, Stoffel. You scared the shit out of this fox.
Let's roll.
Let's have some fun.
Hello, who's that?
Oh yeah, Suicide Squad. Let's go.
Always Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, basically. Well, we get to fight the SCP's fox, but SMGs.
Yep.
Site entrance, so what do you think it's gonna be?
Let's go with Claire as Peanut. Where's Silo? We got Peanut. We got Peanut as Lucky. Lucky is Peanut.
I
He's currently inside me.
know.
Fuck.
I fucked myself.
That was brutal. Oh, poor Doru, no! Doru, no! Oh, I'm not getting revived. Oh, okay. That's fine. Oh, no, it could mean that's fast thingied. Doru is on his own now.
Hells.
Oh, Claire's got all 5.
Oh, hell yeah. Come on.
Armory.
Let's go.
This is where I found Sparky last game.
Also Cardiff when he's won it.
Uprising of the D-Boys. Don't worry, I wouldn't shoot you in the head. I'd probably get banned.
Nah.
Just does that for you, bang bang. Alright, looks like they're going down. Or back up. Oh, no.
Oh, zombies. Peanut. Oh, hi. Hi, how are you?
No, they were...
Dawn.
Oh, he's got ambushed there.
Yeah.
Really fucking. Come on, is anyone gonna.
They made it to armor and got fully armed.
Yeah, I got left to die there by the other SCPs.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm gonna put my desktop audio on mute for my stream. I'm just gonna go get something. I'll be right back. Oh well, I'll just rejoin. We'll rejoin in a second. Go ahead and rejoin quickly. Hot noodle. Hot noodle.
Whoa.
What
was that, guys?
Oh my god, it's lucky. Peanut versus everybody. Damn, poor Peanut.
How's it going? Behind us!
Hi.
Over here!
Good.
Over here! Over here!
Oh my god, he is going to die.
The code does
Yeah,
Do you want me
doesn't
to-
block him.
actually better than you guys.
Do you want me to just drop a grenade in there?
Yeah, that's a good
Needs
idea.
fast.
Look, he's playing this smart.
Yeah, I got disconnected and then I died to something, I think, guys.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, I went and got some food and a beer, so I got kicked for being AFK.
Who used the elevator?
You guys will need to keep your eyes on them all the time though we find them, okay? So what I'm gonna do quick, trap them and see.
Hopefully it's been entertaining for you as I've fucking had to disappear
Behind
every
us.
now and then. Oh,
Guys!
He's running.
Get back here.
Everyone get in, everyone rush, we need to rush him. Crap!
Ah, shit, hit!
I'm not in there.
Oh.
Keep him wet, keep him wet!
Ah.
On them!
What the fuck?
No one was
that was
putting
so
nobody on them!
close.
I died.
Lights out, he could just move.
No, as I was saying, the guys at the flashlight to keep the lights on them, everyone was looking away from them.
Oh, it's so close, it's so close. It is so close.
106 HP!
Fuck.
176! Come on, Nexi!
He's gonna regen before.
He's
yeah,
gonna get his
running
armor
to
back.
regen.
Yeah.
He's been playing it smart since you was chasing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could have got them there if the people with the lights did what I told them to and kept the light on them.
Oh.
I did.
I
but
did have
No,
my
no,
light,
Nexi!
but
I just saw
died.
Nexi! No! Come on! No!
Oh no! No, she's dead.
No!
Oh, what?
Oh!
Come on!
Come on!
Drop the grenade!
Come on!
No, no!
Shh, she's not
Oh
dead!
my god, Oki, is Oki a paid actor?
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
Oh god!
Yeah, they are paid actors.
Nexi clutch.
You
Was
were
that a
the
paid
last
actor
one
scene?
alive.
Jesus Christ.
So low health.
Okay, Stolfo.
Well done.
Sorry, but I had my keyboard covered slightly and I.
Oh, fucking hell, that's a clutch to come back to. Holy shit. Just imagine if chaos spawned. Just a quick cheeky chaos spawn. Player versus chaos.
Never considered Alt Q.
Yeah, true, Q.
No, what's the tab button? Yeah, tab button. I mean something like that. Open the menu.
Why can I barely hear? I can't even hear Jay talking. It comes up that he's talking, but I can't hear him.
Lucky's game hard crashed.
Oh.
My connection is absolute horseshit.
God, why don't all of you fucking deafen instead of just mute?
People can hear me loud and clear, right?
In
Yeah,
the game, yes.
Okay.
Whoever said that, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Lucky.
Yeah, my game hard crashed.
Welcome.
I nearly won that. Oh.
Get a fucking 300 millisecond ping in that game.
Nexie, you slippery bastard.
Lucky. I'll put it
Yes.
this way.
Oh, you.
My computer, because I had something on my desk, I accidentally pressed the wrong button and chucked my weapon with the flashlight instead of holding it out.
Oh, is that why I could move so freely?
That, because the plan was, Lucky, was to trap you in there, and I had the micro, so I'd have them put the light on you as microed you.
Oh yeah, fair enough. I think you were the third person to pick up the micro who I've killed. I was targeting the micro so hard.
You killed
I had it first and I passed it
I had the
along,
MLG.
lol. I was like, no, I don't want
You
this.
slippery little bastard.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Darius, I heard you. Darius!
Hello?
Darius!
Hello?
I was like shouting behind you while trying to eat fucking pot noodle. This is Armory.
At least we know where Armory is.
That's good.
Bolted.
God, that noise always scares the shit out of me. What?
Ain't that not PC?
No, I don't think so. If it is, what fuck?
Oh yeah, definitely. Electric, just so you know, there's a few of us in here streaming / recording, so try and keep language to a
Yeah,
minimum.
that's no problem, I know.
Candy!
There's exit A.
Andy. I don't want to alarm anyone, but we're about to get murdered.
Hiya, Solvo.
Oh, thank God, security. That's all fun, no.
Fucking go! I'm sorry, whoever that guard was.
Security. That's all fun, no.
When I'm sorry to say, but we're about to be murdered.
Oh,
just
fuck.
Joe.
Somebody jinxed it.
Shooting at the dog.
I'm sorry, whoever.
I don't know who shot the... Whoever shot the dog, that was brilliant, but unfortunately, Nexie was there at the same time.
Yeah, I heard Nexie coming
Yeah,
up from
I
behind
was just
as
suddenly
I was
aware
sneaking
of the
away from
dog standing in the doorway.
Yeah.
I just don't talk whenever you're near dog and dog won't see you.
Yeah,
No, we
the thing is, I couldn't even tell Sparky to stop shooting the dog because I just shut up and ran away.
Joshua's fucked. Joshua's fucked.
You fucking idiot!
Josh. Oh no.
Josh.
Game's over!
That's a massacre.
Yeah, Josh, not your most best bargaining chip when you're the last one.
Fuck's sake.
That though.
Oh my god.
Them two playing together is fucking brutal.
Crazy.
Stolfo
I was
combo
crazy
OP.
once.
That was a fucking massacre.
Next here, stuff OP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a little confused for a second. I thought dog was the same as T-Rex and forgot it was sound-based and not movement-based.
SCP, wouldn't it?
Well, it is sound-based, but your footsteps make sound.
Skipper, there you go. Yeah, Skipper, me and Astolfo just got Peanut and Hound. That is just a devastating combo.
I do thank you all though for meeting up at one convenient place so I could kill you all at once.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was about to bargain to say if I killed myself with the hands, would that be okay?
I would. No, here's the thing. If you did that, I would let you away with it because that's the exact thing you did to me, you bastard.
I didn't do shit.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
No, next. Still remember the game where they said that if I kill myself, they'd let me in.
Oh yeah.
They left me in a room.
Oh my god,
hello.
Hello.
106. Old man.
173. Peanut.
Oh god.
Time to do some sketchy shit.
Do-da, hope I get away with it all, do that day.
Guaranteed I'm not. I've barely played Peanut. I'm just
here's an elevator.
I'm in heavy now. I'm just surprised no one's here yet. Have you found someone yet?
Not yet, I'm in light containment right now, so I'm just
I'm trying to find
casually
the
running around.
I'm trying to find the fucking elevator.
They make these places way too mazy though.
Oh, I know, it is difficult to navigate. Oh, I found PC.
Oh, somebody. Yeah, I see exit B being opened.
Ooh.
Exit B. Yeah, some went with the elevator.
I'll see if I can catch them off guard here. If I can find it.
Some are in heavy containment right now.
Right, I found entrance zone. I found one of the entrances.
Found 914. I'm going to scare some people, I guess.
Might as well.
Peanut! Peanut's on the other side. Do not open that door.
Yep, not gonna.
Oh, hi, Undead.
Fucking Ceres has just flashbanged my entire fucking chat.
Just do it, you bastard.
He flashbanged my entire stream. What an ass.
Another one in heavy containment.
Right, I've just killed all security. 2 security, should I say.
Okay. That's a slippery bugger that's running away.
Right, I found elevator system B.
Oh no,
found
sorry,
A.
Josh.
I know where A and B elevators are now, so if they're coming up, I'll be able to see them. quick detour up into... Rather not lose my armor.
Right, okay. Can you get to me? Peanut.
Wow, the old man got a. If you hold step, he got a map?
Yeah. Fucking Doru tried to suicide bomb me.
Lol.
But we got we got MTF thing, or someone down there has a
Okay.
radio.
Where are you right now? Light containment, heavy containment?
Entrance. I'm in the entrance.
Entrance. Okay, that's where I'm at right now as well.
Yeah, I think some of them got out.
Oh, there you are. Hey.
Hello. Yeah. Let's
So-
just say the other entrance is littered with bodies.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, all the security was hiding in the security office, so I just massacred each one of them. This door, that way. Straight ahead.
Yeah, always check around.
It's MTF, it's
Ahead.
MTF.
Yeah.
Oh, old man as well.
Fuck!
Fuck that.
I scared the shit out of him.
I'll go to the other one.
Okay.
Because I mean, if they're all up there, they have to come down eventually.
Yeah.
Best thing is you can wait outside the elevator for them. I have to wait for them to open the fucking door.
I can get away anytime I want. That's the funny thing about being an old man.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
They got reinforcements now.
Yeah, they got reinforcement. I don't like that. Not sure if I should stick with the door or come back to you.
I say
I think I'll go back to you. I think we're stronger if we're together.
yeah, we might also want to head back to heavy because I mean it's tighter
Okay.
corridors.
Yeah.
Let alone if we find the HID, we can just prevent them from getting it. I can't find myself to heavy. That's a small armory, so they'll probably.
I
try
know,
and
but
get
maybe there's somebody inside. You never know.
True.
Just
saying
peeking
that,
in.
Saying that it's us two essentially against all of the MTF. Oh, there's just a keycard on the ground.
Yeah, I killed Josh here for.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
He escaped my shadow realm. Apparently, I was following somebody else, and I jumped down there, and it was Josh. Like, that was not the guy I was following, but I killed him.
Oh, that would have been annoying.
I can notice that he was quite pissed on that.
Oh yeah. So he's definitely coming down with a vengeance.
Oh yeah, sure. And I mean, rightfully so. But nobody gave mercy to me, so why could I give mercy to somebody else?
Fair.
I hate Tesla gates.
Oh no. Oh, I know, they're so bad. I'm currently sat at one of the entrances.
In heavy containment, I believe.
Yeah. I'm hiding behind one of the pillars. Might not be able to hide me completely, but...
Oh, found him! Behind us! For you, left side.
I heard a peanut tech there.
Peanut.
There are noises coming from our in this direction.
Let's give him a surprise.
Go ahead. They are more focused on the door.
They're the warhead.
Open fire! Shit! Old man's with him! We've been down the run! We need reinforcements! Fuck!
Ooh, that was a close one.
Oh, they have HID. Is that them all gone?
Don't know. Somebody was still shooting me, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Corner. He was hiding.
Which corner?
Dory was hid in this corner.
Let me take a check on the yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Get fucked, Astolfo. Get fucked.
Going for the nuke.
Yep, go.
Probably people down there, but
As long as you can turn it off, at least. They're coming
that's
down.
a no.
They're coming down.
Okay, I'm coming up back up.
Was there anybody down there?
No. I was not getting shot or anything. Can take a look again, but
If you weren't getting shot, they're definitely not down there. But I did hear one of the gates
just
open.
like take a little peek. You never know. But
True.
I think it was empty.
The
Yeah, it's empty.
The last 4 are probably sat up on surface, which is dangerous for long range.
Oh, there are 8 again. We had 4. God damn it.
They left one of the gates open. I can get to the surface.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We got nothing to do on the surface. We only get shot there.
Yeah, true. I mean, I can wait for them to come down. But that's 8. That means that's chaos. They're in. It's chaos. It is chaos. They're in.
Okay.
They do have LMG.
Come back here, bitch.
Oh no, I've got another.
Oh shit, he's right there.
Oh, air gunfire. Somewhere.
Yep, they're on me.
God damn it, I tried to get towards you, but I don't know where. Are you in entrance zone?
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Hold up, why is there a fucking D-boy still alive?
Fucking hell.
I died for the cause.
Yes, you did.
I think I dealt the most damage to Peanut.
Fucking one of you did.
Well, I managed to dump like 2 full drums from revolver into it.
Yeah, you guys destroyed my armor so fucking quickly.
No, I would. Here's the thing, Undead. I would have mowed you down with micro if my rest of my team didn't run away, even though they told me to hold my ground.
Yeah, they all ran away, so I was able to kill you.
We didn't run away, we died.
So, do you what? Fuck them. Next round, I'm doing this myself.
He's nearby.
Can't lie to anyone these days.
We can't run away if our legs don't work.
Oh, they killed the D-boy.
But Ace has done quite well for himself.
Oh, yeah, of course, she survives.
Holy shit, how did Nexie survive?
She got lucky.
Yeah, you can survive the realm, it's just really bloody RNG.
I did not get lucky.
Yeah.
I got lucky and then I
Oh.
died.
Okay,
So
now.
currently it's Nexi against a barely alive old man and Chaos, and 3 Chaos.
Yep.
What if we all come back as Chaos? It's gonna be us versus Claire.
Probably, maybe.
And they're all
That'd be
staying
really
on the
funny.
surface, great.
Oh, Claire's on surface?
No, all of them were just sitting on surface doing nothing.
Why? What the fuck?
Basically, before the nuke got
They're probably waiting
disabled
for our what's it called, thing wave. At which point we all agreed to nade them if they're hiding there, say aye.
Yes.
Right.
Aye.
Or
Aye.
if we all spawn as Blue Boy, just kill him.
As I'm saying, Blue Boy nade them.
Go over and kill him.
Green boys still need them.
We can't hear you right now, Shark, by the way. Here's your mic's on,
No,
but...
I'm not talking.
Oh, okay, this is your
I'm
thing was
not
on.
actually talking. I'm just holding the button down so I don't forget.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Ace is hunting for
Oh, they're
Nexi.
waiting for Claire to turn on the nuke.
Oh, she's not going to though, because they're on surface.
It's on. I think
Wait,
she just turned it
none
on.
of them have noticed.
One of them will notice in a second.
Are you
The
sure,
thing's fucking
though?
open as well.
Oh, there,
Yep.
come
There
on.
we go.
Do they know how to
Jay
activate
just
it?
looked right at it.
He's just not saying anything. He's
No,
just...
Nexi just launched a ball.
Oh my god.
Let's see if...
What the fuck? Oh.
What?
It's gonna be real
What the
funny if she escapes after all this time and she just gets fucking stuck up there and you can move down by the chaos.
That's
Yeah.
fine, we left it up.
Oh. Ace is
I don't
going
know
and turning
why
it
I
off
picked that
again.
up somebody.
Well done.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I made sure to let Ace know to check nuke it every now and then.
Yeah. That's a good shout.
But how many of you did I massacre before the first spawn?
I can't remember.
Who knows?
Because Cyrus gave himself up the first time. The second time he went down fighting. Kill him!
Okay,
Kill him!
let's
Kill him!
kill him.
Kill him!
Kill him,
Hi,
kill him,
Nexi.
kill him, kill him, kill him.
Claire, just so you know, old man has turned the nuke off.
Everyone get... No, guys, cover me. I'm gonna need the room for them, okay? I think they're all in there.
They're outside the room. Two down. Is that all three? Is that all three?
One on the...
No, no,
on
no.
the stairs, one up top, one up top.
One
They went up, they went up. He's went up.
Oh, hi.
Holy shit, I
Hi.
can't hit a thing.
Oh my god,
I
it's Claire, it's
survived.
you.
It's me, it's hi. Hi.
Hey there, traitor.
What?
You what? I stood my ground against Peanut and all that because of Micro and you guys just ran off, leaving me once again.
Okay. For the people who are dead right now, you three are so bloody blind. The warhead was armed. Then the old man went
Yeah.
and disarmed it when you looked away.
Are you?
Chaos, you're
Let's
stupid.
head in.
Where's the third?
Alright, let's go and kill old man.
Oh, Nexi,
This
you still
elevator,
alive?
come on.
Yes.
Lucky,
Yeah,
lucky.
you are.
Guys, this elevator.
Nexi, you still alive?
This elevator.
Guys, come to this elevator.
Come on. Up the stairs.
dum-dums.
We're killing an old man.
You're good.
We're gonna free
Listen, I'm sorry, I will be honest, I'm a bit upset being left again, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm unarmed.
Bye-bye.
You were not unarmed. You had a gun.
No, I think they were wanting to be arrested because they can technically be arrested.
Okay, everyone in the lift, do not press
Get
the
in.
button until everyone's in.
Anyone want this?
Just get framed, that's it. 'Cause he has no
Yeah, I have
he,
the face.
he has no HP left, he's dead.
Oh shit.
Hey.
Yay!
I am.
Still alive, this
As soon as I heard the words Epsilon has spawned, I immediately realised I was fucked.
We were fucked.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that was so fucking good. We played it as actual proper MTF as well.
news to the full extent.
Yeah, Jizz left.
So
Okay.
for you three, what was it, Chaos Boys? The nuke was armed by Claire while you were in the room changing your guns. Jay saw it first, and then the rest of you looked and missed the fact the sign said ready.
I didn't see ready on my screen. It still said disabled.
That's because
I think it said disabled on my screen as well.
God gaming.
Indeed.
Hello.
Hello, I'm right here.
Oh, hi. Well, there's intercom.
Just so you know, when you're dead, if you press tab, you can customize your weapons when you next spawn.
Yeah, I know. I have customized my weapons.
For me, you're not holding one.
Huh.
You're gonna kill them with your finger guns.
I'm pretty sure that's a bug.
It must be. Oh, I can see the gun now.
Nah, I must just not have loaded for you.
Yeah. The only thing is, who's the other fucking facility guard? Because I'm pretty sure 3 of us spawn.
Guard number 3, you can press V to talk to us. Oh, you fucking left me.
Oh, I just ran through.
I was grabbing ammo.
We normally spawn with a decent amount, so we should be fine for ammo.
Oh, I looked, it's over. Well, it's over for me anyway. Run! Look down, look down, look down!
I am mildly terrified. That was fun. This is a very nice computer screen here. Finish my pot noodle while I'm waiting. If you're still there, I'm not going to be looking at you. This is a very nice and entertaining PC screen. While I drink a beer. That fucking terrifying. Did I just hear concrete? I better not have just heard concrete. Let's grab a bit more ammo because we're gonna fucking need it. I like how it says that like you can only carry 40 rounds of 5.56. As soon as you pick up the weapon, you can then pick up more. Oh, the armor does it, right. But yeah, I am low-key terrified of fucking 096. So yeah, hearing, I didn't even see, hearing 096 was terrifying. Oh, hello.
Fuck's sake.
Highway's 096.
Hello, friend, hello, friend. There's a white man coming to kill me.
If you flinch shy guy here, I'm gonna fucking kill you, D-boy.
No, that was a while ago, but he's coming back up now, so let's keep your eyes down.
Let's get out of here then.
I don't have a card, all I have is a guard card. I found one of your dead colleagues.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it might also be Peanut, because I heard someone get neck snapped.
Oh.
I haven't got much, by the way. You guys really want some Vicodin.
Ooh, drugs.
There's some more in that container over there.
Oh, more ketamine. I'm also on coma, by the way, so I am slowly dying, so I am on time.
Okay. Got as much built into fucking Peanut as you can.
Can I just leave? I'm not associated, I'm leaving.
Fuck. Fucking hurry up and get your asses down here.
We're dead, fellas, I'm sorry.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Hello, we just heard a voice.
Yeah, we are in the armory. Is anyone else coming to the armory?
I'm a facility guard. MTF is here. I think they've just been murdered by Shy Guy.
I'm still standing.
Repeat. Who are you?
I'm still standing.
Alright, should I open the door?
No.
Okay, who's at the door of the armory?
For the past 5 minutes. You can see my feet, right? Yeah, follow me.
It's fine, it's lucky lad, we've got him. Okay, we've killed one of the prisoners. Just so you guys know, I didn't like him, so I've killed him.
Was he armed?
I'm still alive and I am a D-boy, I will fully admit it. I don't want conflict, I just want to live. Can you all confirm you've received us?
Yeah, we can confirm it. I'm not sure if Shy Guy and Peanut can, though.
SCPs are both accounted for up here for now. Who's on surface? Who's on surface?
One of them is down here.
Both of them are accounted for. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
We are coming in, we are coming down.
No. I'm in entrance. But the issue is, I'm at gate A, but both SCPs are here.
Where's gate A so I can try and avoid it?
It's the upstairs bit where the nuke is. Like, if you go upstairs, I got Shy Guy here.
I found Peanut. Found Peanut. He just stood there staring at me. Not moving.
Who?
Peanut.
I doubt that.
Peanut is behind me right now. It's running about.
Oh well, you're near me then. Is he still at gate A?
No idea. I'm currently in one of the computer rooms.
No, I can hear him right outside. I can hear you. Good luck.
I only have like one mag left. He's ran away from me.
Weird.
It is Sparky, so there is a chance that he doesn't know what to do. Or if he's played with Peanut before.
I'd imagine Shy Guy's probably on his way back in.
Shit.
Is anyone else on comms?
Yep.
Anyone else on comms?
Hi.
Okay, I've got the big fucking gun, alright?
Oh.
I just found a spot upstairs. If you look into it, your screen goes pitch fucking black.
It's what here? What?
I've just
got Shy Guy contained outside, only Peanut inside.
Okay.
Thank God. Claire!
So, hi.
Hi.
Hi, so only Peanut so we can actually look until someone opens a fucking gate.
Right, I only have one
I need
mag
ammo.
left. Yeah, I need ammo as well.
What do you need?
SMG.
Here you go on the floor. There you go.
Thank you. I do have some 5.56 if you need it.
Nah, I'm good, I'm full on it. I need 9mm as well, but my main rifle is an M4, so no point not giving you ammo.
Okay, now there were massacres in here.
HID.
Shit.
I'll get it, I'll get it.
05 cars on one of them.
With Peanut and Shy Guy, there's no point really having medkits.
No, there's not, but there's plenty of grenades here.
I got all 3. I'll take the 05 as well.
Yeah, I'm
Come on.
just quickly. The med
Oh, we got another squad.
Yeah.
Shy Guy's outside, good luck. Yeah, he's stuck in there.
He's stuck inside gate B.
I sealed the gate. I sealed the gate on the inside.
As long as you don't trigger him, he can't open the door.
Back to see him back up.
Need a new radio anyway.
Fair.
That's still locked. We need one more switch.
I didn't spot
Wait,
one.
I know where it'll be.
Is it this one here? Is this one here? The other two.
Hold on,
The
hold on,
other
hold
two
on, hold
were
on.
active. Might be this one here.
Yeah, activate this one then. Let's go hide at the armory doors.
Yep.
We can get MG, which I'd suggest you take, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, we're currently down at the armory. We've just activated the last generator. We're just waiting for it to
Yeah, I'm
charge.
at heavy contain. I'm at the
You know
entrance
what
to
we'll do
heavy.
actually? In case Peanut
I've
gets
got
us.
pretty much everyone killed.
We can have this.
Yep.
But for the greater good.
You arm that, I'll take the upstairs, and I'll protect it. Oh, blur.
I'm near the room where the electric gun spawns.
We currently have it. We're just at, if you can find the PC armory, that's where we are.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Regular armory, it's nearby it. Yes!
Found an elevator system that's useless.
Oh shit, they're outside!
Well, we're good.
What's happening?
Both of them are outside, apparently. Someone opened the gate.
Wait, they're both fucking out of
It's not for this, I'm pretty sure. Seconds.
It'll be a long fucking 15 seconds.
Sometimes you can get 2 MGs in here, you know?
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. We got 2, I can take, like, a third gun, give it to someone, and I'll take the MG again, or I'll give them the MG and I'll take the,
It's open.
Don't bother shooting glass, although there is an upgraded card here for you.
Do
you want the MG? You take it. Go.
I have a 05.
Motherfucker, I'm carrying like 4 grenades. It's gonna be a very bad day. Also,
yeah,
there.
I have a 05 card.
Oh, I found the armory thing.
Hi.
So there's no one on the surface, warhead is active, repeat,
Grab
warhead
some
is
stuff.
activated.
No one's on the surface.
We're pretty well equipped.
Anyone who can try to
You
make
can
the
also get
surface,
some extra
warhead is
heavy ammo
active.
here. This side. I wouldn't go for the heavy armor, by the way. Oh wait, there's no light armor, damn. It's just the heavier you are, the slower you move. The slower you move, the more likely he's gonna catch you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peanut was waiting outside gate A when we spawned. So we got to, because Shy Guy had gone to gate B elevator. So we went to gate A.
Outside.
I have no fucking clue. Undead, you little rat.
What?
I saw what you did, hiding on top of the booth. So Sparky couldn't get you.
Yeah.
You do know Sparky's new, right?
Yes.
Right, let's go. Come on.
Does anyone know where
Oh, also we have this.
Oh yeah, we do.
But yeah, got into the gate and decided to basically. I panicked and locked everyone else inside with Peanut.
Right.
Oh jeez.
So. So they probably want to kill my ass.
Well, at least they can't shoot you. It says that we're both
If we
empty,
meet
yeah.
Shy Guy, we just engage because we've got enough firepower to take him down. We might die, but the next wave would have a good chance. Come on, in here.
Warhead's active. As sort of said, Warhead's active. Fuck's sake, Claire.
Do one of you guys have micro?
Claire has
I'm
it.
here to defend ourselves.
Where? Where?
Down nuke.
Okay, I'm coming over that way too. I can't watch where that is though.
I mean, if you can get to the surface, we can protect the button.
Well, there's supposed to be chaos up there along with ACPs
Actually,
right
that's
now.
an idea. How many
God.
grenades you guys got?
I have 1.
Drop it in the elevator.
Wait for me!
Wait, no, we're just dropping grenades in.
Oh no! No!
Are you alive?
There's the fucking facility. Oh. You can
Oh, hi.
don't say it.
Just look at the
They're
ground.
coming down the elevator, they're coming down, get ready!
Coming down. Hi.
Fuck's sake.
I found people instead of death.
Astolfo, grenade strap. There's a bunch in there.
I'll be the keg then.
There's a grenade here if you want it.
Oh yeah, okay. Get in there. No.
Yeah, that's
All
what
the
I'm
grenades
saying,
in here. All the grenades in.
Yeah, that's all of them. There's 5 in there if you drop that one. 6 actually. Oh my
We did meet
god.
2 racists and I did an Irish accent when I did this, or you fair didn't.
Little
Nah,
bit,
go for
but
it.
you can do what you want. Good luck.
Top of the island here, laddie.
Oh wait, give
Okay,
him the
Seamus,
bouncy
it's time for us to go now.
Oh, I wish he had the
Enjoy your,
bouncy ball now.
enjoy your car,
Me
boy.
grandfather taught me this trick.
Okay, who needs ammo and who needs guns?
Oh, I have ball, by the way.
Do you have ammo and guns?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
If you have blue ammo, by the way. Oh wait, never mind.
Okay, and by the way, most likely I'll be dead, okay?
Right, okay.
Good luck.
Your sacrifice will be honoured in the annals of MTF.
No, it won't. we'll die as well.
It feels slightly weird hearing myself through the radios distorted.
What's your gun? What do you have for a gun? Okay, right.
Big
Oh,
gun.
Jesus. How much ammo you got for that?
Max.
Nice. What about you?
Yeah, Max as well. I remember I was at the. So we have
You,
3
Max?
LMGs.
I've got 85 9x9 and I've got 110 5.56.
Grab some of that ammo then. Because you hit harder. There you go. Perfect.
Cyrus, if you
By the way,
switch your...
guys, we also have this.
Yeah, we have that. But sir, if Peanut comes down, you might want to switch your ammo out to AP, because otherwise you're not going to do much.
I have AP already.
Who disabled the warhead?
I have FMJ and AP. Me.
That's our
Because
last
we'll get blown
resort.
up in here. Yeah, they're on surface though.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We're in the complete fucking opposite.
Yeah.
At least we're safe.
Astolfo, you okay? Astolfo, you okay?
Astolfo? Oh no, my mic.
Astolfo, you there?
Calling left back.
Sorry, no, my radio's dead.
Oh.
Right.
Someone
Working
get
out
this
of
man on
battery.
radio.
No. I can't find anyone, by the way, as far as I can tell, the SCPs are still on the surface.
Here, radio here, Astolfo.
We might have to go up the surface, unfortunately, if we want any chance to do anything.
Right, okay, shall we go for a surface push then?
Yep.
Okay,
Might as well.
can everyone help me move these grenades?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, 2 grenades, each in each pocket.
Oh, but I want to keep my
One in the
coin.
corner.
Oh, you already got all the grenades. Nice.
If we
Should
can
we
find
maybe
some
try SCPs? Should we try grab some SCPs?
Yeah.
Give us
Might as well.
pink nods.
If we have pink
I've got
candy and someone has
I've got the ball, so that should cause some fun.
If you get them in a left and throw it, oh.
They don't
yeah,
if the ball takes some time to get up to speed,
No,
unfortunately, so
if you throw it, then it doesn't.
it still takes a
Just,
bit.
How do I
annihilate
throw
each other.
things?
When you have it, it's the like standard left right click, you know.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. In fact, armory here. Let's rearm with some ammo if
Yeah.
anyone needs it. May as well go in best we can. Also, fuck tons more grenades. And an M4 if anyone.
Okay, everyone get the grenades. With the grenades are
Forget medkits because it doesn't matter, they will annihilate you. Forget your
we don't
medkits.
need to heal, so we're just gonna one-shot them, okay, head. Oh, that does spawn here now, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
God damn, don't scare me like that.
look, I believe that also closes all the doors in the facility, so Shy Guy won't be quite useful. If I recall correctly, anyway.
Yep, let's go.
I have 4 grenades, by the way, so...
Yep.
Yeah, because see, that closes all the doors, now Shy Guy won't be quite as effective anymore, will he?
Yeah, do flashbangs affect 096?
Yes, it'll affect vision, but he still sees the rings. Just remember to close the doors behind you, by the way. The less things Shy Guy can see, the better.
I think if we go left and keep going for a while. What do you want me to have out?
Duty then.
Probably LMG so we can get a decent shot.
Fucking back here!
Yeah, this way then, I'm pretty sure.
Why are there no maps in these facilities? Like a guide, like... Imagine there'd be a guide.
This
Also-
one has like a near full charge, by the way.
Also, close the... Yeah, no, because Claire, do you want to know why we died with that thing, by the way? Because we got trapped in the same room as Peanut, and Ace thought it would be a good idea to throw down the thing that turns the room all black.
I'm over here.
Our heads are veering out, technically. They might be still on top of us, don't risk that though.
Right.
I'm gonna say we fully charge micro up before opening the door.
There.
That fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll basically step back, let you guys deal with it, you know, and then...
Well, shh.
Oh,
Hello, Mr. Peanut, can you confirm if you're there? I heard you sliding about. Get 3,
go.
2, 1. Wait, why did you...
Because it was overloading because you guys didn't do it in time. God damn.
Well.
Well, yeah, because Claire, if you don't charge it up in time, he's just gonna snap your neck for the thing. For
Yeah, but
the
you didn't even begin opening the door when it was
did
like
somebody
almost
activate the
about fire.
elevator?
No, he used it to get out. Let's try the other gate, seal this one, go the other gate.
Hello.
Okay, 3, 2,
Go.
1.
Here he comes, here he
Elevator.
comes.
Stop that.
Oh, that was...
Okay, hey, what guys?
They're just gonna be waiting for. They're just gonna be waiting for us. If we had some pink candy and filled this room full of grenades, it would literally be a suicide.
Yeah, everyone drop your grenades now. He's in there, he's in there, he's in there! You're coming with us, Seamus!
Fuck.
Hey! Aww.
Well, that ended about as well as could be fucking expected.
It worked though, didn't it?
Long.
Yeah.
Oh god, she... I think she's shocked that we all died. Yep.
Consider this. 173 had the least amount of left of the two of them.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm assuming Josh is... Yeah, Josh is just... oh my god, I can see the dead fucking chaos corpses. You must have got fucking massacred.
We spawned and we got pretty much killed straight away.
Yeah.
Well, once they spawn, we just need to light him up, that's our round rule now.
Holy shit.
Do you think it's worth me letting next know, or do I wait it all out? Because this might be a very long round unless someone knows.
No, it's fine. I think we should wait it out.
Give me enough time to drink my beer.
I think Nexy's gone... Oh, yeah, Nexy's gone back to recharge fucking the gun, I think.
Oh no, Shy Guy, you fool. Shy Guy, close the door.
Oh, the ball! The ball!
I think he's waiting for it to come into the elevator so he can walk it out.
Yeah.
What? Oh. Wait, what? The nades are going off!
That's the mate.
Oh no! Wait, oh no, that enraged him, get back in the site! What?
Oh no!
Oh no.
Get back in the site!
No!
He can go back into the facility.
It's
Oh my
over,
god!
it's over.
He just got in!
No, wait, what?
Don't do that, Josh.
Holy shit!
Stay
No,
in
that
the
is...
facility for your
That is...
sake.
Fuck. The ball hit a grenade when it died.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Shit. And Nexy will have no idea.
Oh no!
No.
It depends who sees who's first in the situation.
Yeah, fucking.
I hope it's
Also,
spawn.
just a little reminder to everyone else, by the way, remember.
Holy shit! Yes.
He broke containment! Nexy broke containment!
He's coming down for you. She's not got a radio.
Yes, she is! It's inside there! It's inside! Everyone in, goddammit! We have a member to save! Get the fuck in now! We'll never save!
Jawohl!
We are the
Right then,
Imperial
folks.
Guard.
Listen up closely. We are
Charge!
to help defeat this SCP monster.
Fuck. I missed.
Hit him up! Light him up! Damage phase, everyone!
Just keep shooting.
Yes!
Yes! Yes!
Oh, God.
Let's fucking go, bitches.
Yes!
Oh, that was actually quite fun. Oh, a good few good games this stream as well for the 1 hour 25 minutes. Doesn't feel like it, but it has. Has been an hour and 24 minutes. 25.
That was an interesting round.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it was a stalemate
Yeah.
for most of it.
Did Peanut like our surprise?
Well, folks, how the fuck are we still alive?
No clue.
Yeah.
I'm logging off.
Fair enough. I think we'll stop here.
Well, we have 9 people.
I think a few people are leaving.
8.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah. Okay, well.
We ended here. Okie dokie.
Wow.
Well, guys, I'm going to end this stream off. It's been a good hour and a half. And I say we got some pretty good clips out of that. Oh, next will probably be next week on Sunday, where I'll be prepping for the Jingle Jam. So I'll also see you guys then.